material to cover. So, thank you guys for joining to today's gentle nutrition workshop. And today we are extra special because we get Janine Skinner. She's going to be presenting to us today. And Janine, if you'd like, you can share your screen now. Um, you can share those slides, but I'm going to introduce Janine to you guys all so that you can meet her. So Janine is a Utah resident and she's grown up loving the Wasatch Mountains and has had a lot of adventures in her life so far. She has practiced music since age 5, and she loves learning and getting better at new physical activities. So, in the past 15 years or so of life, Janine has found passion for volleyball, snowboarding, rock climbing, pickleball, country dancing, and lifting weights at the gym. She worked as a caterer while studying dietetics at BYU and then worked as a diet tech in the hospital for 3 years before becoming the dietetic internship and sitting for and passing the registered dietitian exam. So that's awesome. 3 cheers for Janine. Janine's first job as a dietitian was at WIC, and she's loved learning more about breastfeeding and maternal health and coaching moms during that transition into motherhood, which is huge to have someone cheering them on, might I add. And then currently, she's writing a recipe book, which has become a larger project than expected, but it's also a fun hobby. So, Janine, thank you so much for being here with us today. We are so excited to learn from you, and the time is yours.
Thank you so much, Jane, for that introduction. Can everyone
Yes,
hear me okay?
I can hear you just great.
Awesome. And I don't think I'm able to see the chat. If there's a way you can teach me how to do that or let me know if something
I, yes, I also am happy to manage the chat for you and interject with questions.
okay, awesome. So I'll ask for just a little bit of comments, but we'll do most of our presentation. So yeah, I'm a dietitian and I have loved health for the longest time. Just to give a little bit of background, I didn't always have the happiest relationship with food. So when I found out about dietetics, it kind of wrapped in all of my loves, thinking about psychology, biology, nutrition, and health. And so that's something that I like to share with people to uh, just show that we're all human and I think we all have a lot to learn from each other. Starting off with a quote, your body is a gift. When you treat it well, it will give you strength and power to accomplish the goals you set for yourself. Breaking this presentation down into 4 parts, did a little bit of an intro of what I'm passionate about, and we'll jump into a little bit about feelings, a little bit about science, and hopefully you'll have a couple of take-home messages from the presentation. First question I wanted to ask everyone, please type in the chat, what are some of your favorite foods? Give us a minute here.
I love this question.
Thanksgiving is next week, so if there's anything special you want to mention there, go for it.
Ooh, we have artichokes,
Oh man, fancy one.
sushi, asparagus, tacos, salads, marzipan, egg breakfast burritos, pickled beets, bacon, eggs, pasta, seafood, cake and ice cream,
Yes.
salmon. I like a good burrito. I'm love the Mexican dish.
Yeah,
It's my favorite.
yeah. No, don't we love the spicy things? Once you have flavor, dude, it just, advances to a new level. That's all I gotta say.
Totally.
So thanks for those responses. This next picture, ooh, I can see the comments now. This is great.
Oh, yay!
So it's just popping up at the top of my screen. So This is some pictures of some of my favorite foods. Tacos are in the bottom right corner. This is just a little place in Provo I went to last month. And the other four pictures are actually pictures of food that I experienced in Greece this summer. I I had a super cool opportunity to study the Mediterranean diet this summer with the USU program. It was just a 10-day experience, but we really dived in and learned about the Mediterranean diet and lifestyle. So as you can see, the dessert may be something simple like Greek yogurt and fruit, which is divine. But looking at breakfast, this middle picture was so cool. We had little portions of variety of foods. And variety and balance is one of the best things you can do to have a healthy body. And this experience was just incredible because I look at this breakfast here. Yeah, I had toast and yogurt, things I'm familiar with, and some pieces of fruit, but they even offered slices of cucumbers and tomato with breakfast. And that just blew my mind. But I loved how everything was so colorful, and the foods are also very tasty, and pretty much everything was included. The top right corner, there's an example of the classic tiki salad or Greek salad. And you can see the olive oil right there. Definitely something you want to include for a healthy diet, but more on that later. And pizza, of course, can't forget pizza. Okay, so my next question is, what are your favorite physical activities? I'm gonna pop those in the chat for me. Yoga,
Yoga. Yeah.
love
Oh, you
it.
can see. I forgot.
I can now. Yeah, thank you. Cycling, walking, hiking, yes, hiking, fishing. That's a cool one. I haven't done much of that. Walking, 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 walking. Now I wonder how many of us have done the March into May program. I have. That was one of my that is still one of my favorite healthy lifestyle activities. And creating habit takes time. And so when you have encouragement from others and you do it over and over and over again, it's really easy to do. But just wanted to ask about physical activities because food is fuel. You got to start with good nutrition, and you'll most likely have a better chance to enjoy physical activities. And so here's a list of some of my favorite activities. I see we have a lot of things in common, walking, hiking. I added a couple other ones like dancing. Kind of dancing is one of my favorite things, and pickleball is really popular right now. It seems to be like one of those lifetime sports. And so just wanted to mention that there's so many different activities we can do. We just got to find something we like and then power it up. So let's jump into feelings. We want to change comfort eating into intuitive eating. You may have heard this concept before of intuitive eating, and I'll discuss a little bit what I think about it in future slides. But just wanted to mention that food is fuel and food can be fun. This picture right here is one of my sample breakfasts. I made a baked oatmeal. There's some Greek yogurt and some fresh fruit. And so getting a couple different colors in there, a couple different food groups, that's the easiest way. I like to plan my meals, and this little quote right here, now's a good time to start. Why not now? And a couple concepts I wanted to go over right here about gentle nutrition is, how are we actually eating? I really feel that how we eat is more important than what we eat. And so when I had this experience in Greece, we had so much time to eat and enjoy and be with people. It was incredible. It's really hard to transfer that into my work life right now, but I do have a nice lunch break where I have time to just go on a quick walk and then I can sit down and enjoy my meal. And so that first concept of slowing down, I really think is so important to have good digestion and feel better. So if you can, find time to sit down, chew your food, and enjoy it. That's a great thing to plan for. The next 3 points just go over nutrition concepts. When I think about nutrition, it's easiest to think about balance. And if you kind of break it down into the science, having a balance of carbs, fats, and protein at every meal is a really good way to fuel ourselves, because you may have learned if you've taken a nutrition class that carbs break down really fast, but protein and fats break down slower. So that's going to help us feel fuller longer and sustain us to the next meal. I'd also add fiber to this as well. Next point is aiming for 3 food groups. I like color. Things always are more enjoyable when they look good. And so aiming for 2 colors, aiming for 2 or 3 food groups. This is something to help us enjoy our food. And so if you take an example of just eating one food, you can add a colorful fruit or vegetable. That's an easy way to enjoy your food and maybe get some more nutrition if you aren't already eating fruits and vegetables. So taking that intuitive eating, kind of wonder how many people have heard of the term intuitive eating. Can you just put in a yes or a no in the chat so I can kind of see who has heard of the concept intuitive eating? Yes, 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 yes.
We love
Okay, so
intuitive
far.
eating. We
That's a
love
good
intuitive
concept.
eating.
No, who has read the book? Um, this is something that I learned in my schooling, and over like many generations of time, I think we can make changes. But it's all coming back to listening to yourself and respecting your body. And so one concept I wanted to point out is that cravings and appetite are normal. Do we eat the same every single day? No, not at all. And there's moments when we do have cravings, and our appetite will change from the feelings we have, or illness, or stress. But going to the second point, if we do the 80-20 rule, I think that was mentioned a couple weeks ago in one of the presentations, but the way I see it is that 80% of the food you eat is fuel and the rest is fun. And so when you allow yourself to enjoy the fun food, this helps you prevent shame or guilt, and just allows yourself some flexibility. One of my favorite things to do is to have my favorite treat with a lunch or a dinner. And I've got a good solid meal that I've taken time to prepare, or I've gone out to eat, and I enjoy my treat. I will definitely tell you, as a dietitian, I enjoy ice cream. One of my favorites.
I
And
love to hear that, Janine. I love it. It's
thank
refreshing.
you.
It's like it should be, we should enjoy it, you know? That's like a part of life. So anyway, sorry for
Yeah.
interrupting, but
Oh,
I am here for ice cream as well.
yes, please. And also like a small piece of dark chocolate. That's one of my favorite things, because it's just that mix of salty and sweet that can really satisfy you, but you're not likely to consume way too much. But just
Right.
the concept of allowing yourself to fit it in will help you, so you won't overeat and you won't feel shame. You'll just enjoy it. And so rejecting that diet mentality, that's what I'm all about. I mean, it takes time and energy to learn how to cook good foods, and the nutrients that we can get from the real food is going to be the stuff that's not processed. Sometimes we will use processed foods, but if we can add in more of that natural food, the real fruits and vegetables and grains, we will get more energy throughout our day. Hunger and fullness, I'm not going to jump into that too much, but there's something called the hunger and fullness scale. I'm talking about eating, and I'm not addressing that in this presentation. There's a couple more foods that I loved in Greece and Italy. You're going to recognize this over here. This is gelato on the left side of the screen. If you ever go to Italy, make sure you get some gelato. It's smooth and creamy and fantastic, and a cute little cup. That's another concept that I love about intuitive eating. And if you are looking to enjoy your sweets better, I encourage you to get a small little cup, like a cute small portion and small spoons, because when you see the portion filled up that, let's see, when you see that food fills up that portion, it will look more enjoyable instead of having a massive bowl and you put just one scoop in. It looks super sad. You're not going to enjoy the same experience. And fries, of course. That's another fun food that I had a couple times in week. So basically, everyone eats food, and in the United States, we have this choose my plate symbol to kind of demonstrate what a healthy plate would look like. And every country has their own regulations on how to describe a healthy diet. USDA is one of the ways that we look at food. Just wanted to say the Mediterranean diet is not really a diet, it's more of a lifestyle. And you may have heard some people talking about the Mediterranean diet as one of the healthiest diets. And from going to Greece, I really think they have a lot of key factors there. They have good 3 solid meals. They give they give time and space between each meal, and they really are incorporating fruits and vegetables most meals. Our little choose my plate picture in the bottom right corner here, it shows that half the plate is fruits and vegetables, and that's a good visual cue to help us realize that we'll get a lot of good nutrition and energy from these foods. And so just a little concept there. If you are thinking of the plate method, aiming for a fruit or vegetable on your plate can be an easy way to make sure you're getting some good balance there. More about feelings. There's something called the comfort eating carousel. I read about this in a book a couple years ago and just talking about how feelings affect how we act. Everyone feels stress, and then we're going to look for comfort. This is just a natural part of being human. Many of us will jump to eating something or doing some other action of comfort, and then we'll feel temporary comfort for maybe a couple minutes or hours. Once those positive feelings evaporate, it's possible guilt may come back, and then we feel more guilt, we feel more emotions, and then we might start over again. We feel more stress and start the whole carousel. This book I mentioned right here is called 50 More Ways to Soothe Yourself Without Food. So taking a step back, just pause and brainstorm a little bit. There's so many ways that we can combat our stress in our lives, and sometimes it just takes experience, practice, experiment. And so this slide right here gives a couple reasons why we might have emotional eating, and they're all very common. I won't talk about it too much, but looking at a little bit of the science, there's the dopamine response, where kind of interesting, if we have more foods that have salt, sugar, and fat all mixed in together, there's a lot of processed foods in there. There's a lot of food science that goes into some of these products, and it's really easy to trigger the pleasure center in our brain, which will make us want to go back and crave it more and more and more. And it's really hard to get away from this. I have definitely experienced this with those little Debbie snacks. Don't want to like pinpoint any specific food. I don't like doing that and like shaming foods, but those are really hard to stop eating. And it's just really interesting to pause, stop, reflect, and see if that's something that you want to continue doing. Do I feel happier and healthier after enjoying this thing? I mean, 80 to 80-20, gonna go back to that, but some foods don't do that for me. The Greek yogurt and fruit that I shared in that first picture, that's the sweet, it does have more sugar and it's really tasty, and that is fine. It has that good full fat flavor, but it's not highly processed. I don't enjoy processed food. So if there was anything I could do to teach people to purchase these things less often, then that would be one of my goals, to help encourage to find a food that's less processed that you enjoy versus something that's really high in salt, sugar, and fat. So moving on past that, another common reason for emotional eating is stress, and we're looking to rebalance that. Increased stress means increased cortisol, and that hormone actually makes us crave sugary, fatty, calorie-dense food. Interesting, right? And what are we going to do to combat that stress? Another reason for emotional eating, distraction, boredom, or it's just easy to access. It's a habit. That's where meal planning can come in. If we take time to develop those solid, balanced meals that we enjoy, we'll be more likely to eat better, feel less stressed, and just a couple ideas on that. Are there any questions or comments on that section? Anyone wanted to type in, raise your hand, or send a comment? I'll just continue on. I wanted to talk about science a little bit. So there's a concept called division of responsibility. And we're going to watch a little video right here. I'm hoping this will work. It's fine, but hang tight. Okay, I'm going to play this one more time. I want you to read the words and you can understand this just a little bit more. Isn't it interesting? So the more we pay attention to others and force them to eat, they won't be eating good. And I don't know how many of you have little children yet, but this is what I definitely focus on a lot at work. We talk about the division responsibility. I'm a dietitian that talks with uh, mothers and fathers and soon to be mothers and fathers. When we hear about little kids, they're picky. I mean, yeah, they have little tummies, but the more that we pressure them to eat, the more likely they won't eat well. But if we just allow them to have intuitive eating, let them decide for themselves how much and if they're going to eat, this is a much better way to live, way less stressful. There's a couple Instagram accounts I've listed over here. I'm happy to email my presentation to you afterwards if you want to put your email in the chat. I don't know if that's the best way to do it, Jane, or if they can
I
just
can,
email me.
yeah, I can also send out those slides as well, the slides that you sent over to me. I can send it out to the
Okay,
group.
thank you so much. Yeah, because these are a few Instagram accounts that I like to follow. They have really good videos and concepts and presentations on nutrition to give real science. Because there's a lot of information out there, but these are people that I trust.
That's reassuring to me because I do follow Feeding Littles, and I think she is hilarious and just so great to like. Yeah, she's just darling, and I love the content that she puts out because I am a mother of a young toddler,
Oh,
and so
I didn't know
it's
that.
like, okay, yeah, I shouldn't pressure him into eating certain things. Like he needs to learn to be intuitive. Like I can't force him to have another bite if he's done, you know? So it's interesting. I'm trying to reform my own brain because it's just so yeah, it's like this the culture of which we live, you know, but I have to put that trust in him so that he will learn how to eat intuitively. So anyway, I love that you shared that because it is really helpful.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that. I appreciate that. Um, Feeding Littles is definitely a good one because they do have a dietitian and an occupational therapist. And kind of a follow-up question with what you said, you say we have this culture of maybe forcing or trying to eat better. I don't know if you've experienced the clean your plate experience. Gonna go back into generations past when they lived through the Depression. They didn't have that food security to know that they'd have their next meal. And I think that kind of has been passed down through generations, and we're trying to combat that and um, help prevent or deal with and help eating disorders, which is a whole nother whole nother field, but definitely dear to my heart. So the concept of division responsibility, it means that we decide when, where, and what we're going to eat, and then kids or others choose if and how much. So if we can try to step back and let other people decide for themselves how to eat, that can also be the most respectful thing we can do for others. So moving on to more science, setting up your environment for success. Uh, I know that I don't work well in places that are cluttered. And so taking 5 minutes to declutter the area, I'll be more likely to meet my goals if eating better is a goal or if exercising more is a goal. Finding a project that I want to finish. It's so important to have a space that's clean for me to work better. And if it's something that's hard for you, I suggest turning on some music or taking a walk. You can just reset. A little bit of movement can help you get your environment ready for success. And this next concept, a little bit more science. Behaviors lead to rewards and then their habits. And so if we can find somewhere to break that cycle, it can take a lot of effort, but one of my favorite concepts is piggybacking. Um, this first point here, talking about a cue, we got to make it easy and obvious. So if we have a behavior that we have right now, but we want to make it different, maybe there's something we can do as a visual cue. Do we have a fruit phone on the counter? Is it easy to access? Is it going to take us just one step to grab that apple before we run out the door? Or is it in a bag, in a basement, in a garage? I have to take 10 steps to get to it. It's not going to make it easy. If I can make it something visual, then that'll help us create these new habits. And piggybacking this concept is something that I love. If we have something we do that we're really good at, then we just add something right onto it. Like first thing in the morning, wake up, go to the bathroom, brush my teeth. If I'm not brushing my teeth in the morning, then I just add it on to that first step. And one of my other favorite things is setting up a time to work out. I am not really much of a morning person, I'll be honest. Mornings are really hard for me. I love to stay up late, but after a long work day, I love to work out and get that energy out, get that stress out. Move my body is really enjoyable to me. So putting it on my schedule really helps me get that habit in there. So I'm working out on Tuesday after work. That means I packed my workout bag the night before so I can just grab it. So I have my clothes, I'm ready to go. And once we have a new schedule, maybe some of us are working at home, maybe some of us are in the clinic or at an office. If we find out a way to piggyback our habit, then we'll be more likely to do it. And our brains are really set up to uh, save energy, and they want to do, our brains want to do things the easiest way possible. So if we find an easy way to do it, we will continue to do it that way unless we find something easier. And so just a couple ideas right there about piggybacking. But look over at this quote over here. Habits are systems. You do not rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. So what is your system? Do you have a pattern for what you're wanting to do in your life to feel happy and healthy? If not, try brainstorming a little bit. If you can write down an example of what you want to try, something simple, just one. We don't need to like rehaul our whole life. Just one thing that we want to try. Habits are definitely systems. More books I've mentioned down here are Atomic Habits. People have talked about that one a lot. The Power of Habit I've been reading recently. It has more science and um, studies in that one, and intuitive eating, of course, I mentioned again. Can I ask here, what are your favorite ways to add exercise into your day? Do you have a certain day when you work out, and how has that been successful? Can someone share in the chat, like what's one habit that you do pretty much consistently that works out for you if it's like related to piggybacking.
I know for me, when I wake up in the morning, I instantly put on like my activity clothes, like so that I'm ready to go. Like I don't have the excuse of, well, I have to get dressed because I'm already dressed. So it's like just getting up and doing it for me. In the chat, we have some good things. Walk the doggy every morning. Walk everywhere in the 3 mile radius. Prep vegetables so they're easy to grab.
Oh, nice. Good one.
Yeah, do the stairs at work,
Yes.
walking to the grocery store, doing desk stretches every few hours.
Oh, I love that one. All of them are really good. The stretching every couple hours is really good because we want movement throughout our day. That helps pump our blood and gets our brain activated. I read, no, I watched a YouTube video. I think it was a TEDx video about the most important 30 minutes of your day. And it's just the whole culture of how we're sitting down a lot of the time at work, but the importance of getting up and moving around can really help our blood and our heart and our lungs. And so it's not, I don't want to say like the half hour of workout after gym is, um, I don't want to say it's like, uh, hmm, I don't want to say it's the most important thing to do because I think it's more important to be active throughout the day. That was the key concept I got from the presentation. What was the other comment from
Yeah,
Jen?
so it says try for 250 steps per hour.
There
And
you go.
I think that goes along with what you're saying, Janine, is like just remind yourself to get up and move around. It doesn't have to be like, power hour at the gym. Just get up, move around, take a walk, get your blood pumping, and then get back to your day.
For sure. Yeah,
Another
for
one
sure.
says, I will do wall push-ups a few times a day.
Awesome. Yeah, I was like, that's a great first step to building your muscles and movement. I do wall push-ups sometimes. I do girl push-ups. I do guy push-ups, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, wall push-ups are definitely fun. That's awesome. Thank you. And so to wrap it up a little bit more, this quote here, being kind, compassionate, and having an accepting stance toward yourself during difficult times is key to eating well. This is from a health psychology journal. I'll read that one more time. Being kind, compassionate, and having an accepting stance toward yourself during difficult times is key to eating well. Now that brings it back to our thoughts, how our brains are so important in how we work through our days. Are we feeling gratitude? Are we thankful for our bodies? Are we doing the best we can during these difficult times? Having these thoughts of, I can take care of my body. I am enough. You know? And I am a scientist doing an experiment. This is one of my favorite uh, phrases I'll share with families because um, it takes a lot of time to find something new that we love. And sometimes we make mistakes and we don't like whatever meal we made or whatever activity we did and we got hurt. But if we remember we are scientists and we're doing an experiment, we can just try something new and then reflect and see if we like it or not. It's something that I've done with my own experience. I often share this with clients too, that when I first started this job 6 years ago, I was probably eating out 4 or 5 times a week, and I didn't feel so hot. I didn't feel like I was getting a good enough energy throughout my day, and my tummy was upset, and I was kind of annoyed how much time I was losing because I'd have to eat out for lunch or just spending more money on something that I didn't want to eat. And Once I realized this, I took a step back and said, hey, what can I do to experiment and try something new? And I saw my coworker bringing her lunch every day to work. I was like, how in the world are you doing that? I want to do that. I was like, I don't like mornings, but I'm gonna figure this out. And so I started experimenting and I made a meal the night before, or I made my sandwich and had it ready to go so I could just grab it and take it to work. And over time, over a couple months, I started to eat out less. I've been eating out 3 times a week and then 2 times a week, maybe once a month. And now, 6 years later, I rarely eat out. I'll eat out for fun sometimes, but I have saved so much money and time. It is so, so cool because I did this experiment and I found out a way that was helpful to me and I started to feel healthier. I had more energy because I was eating more fruits and vegetables. It's kind of hard to find fast food that has good solid fruits and vegetables that you're not paying a lot of money for. I don't want to spend $10 every day for lunch to get a full salad and soup, even though it is definitely tasty. I just don't have the money for that. And so when I made salads myself and enjoyed that, it's just something that I really enjoyed. And so just to show a little bit of perspective, that's how I've transitioned my work life a little bit. And everyone's experience is different. And yeah, I've studied dietetics for quite a long time, but it's something I truly love, and I want to encourage more health for everyone I talk to. They can give more self-love for themselves. So want to finish up a little bit, and then we'll do some take-home messages. Wanted to ask, what are some of your positive affirmations? And put those in the chat. I am strong. I am good enough. I am loved. I can do this.
I'm capable of anything I put my mind to.
Awesome. That's a power woman right there.
I love myself unconditionally right now.
Oh, I feel that one. Thank you.
Every day is a new beginning.
Right on. It's so true. It's so true, isn't it?
I do fewer
Oh,
things so I can do them better.
nice. Nice. Yeah, it means you're saying no to something so you can say yes better.
I'm freaking awesome.
Yeah, you are. We're all freaking awesome.
I am strong. I am powerful.
I love it. Love, love, love. Thank
I
you.
don't know
You have
about
this.
you,
I
but
love
even
these.
just reading these, yeah, like they are pumping me up.
I
I
know. I
can
feel so
I
awesome.
can do this. I am enough.
I love it.
I can turn the path I choose into the correct one.
I love that. And sometimes we have bad days. We can try again tomorrow. At our lowest, we can still try again.
Yeah, this has been my motto for the last little bit is today I'm giving myself grace, right? Don't be so hard on yourself.
Yes. Oh, very good. Very good. Thank you for this responses. So let's wrap it up a little bit. Conclusion, take home messages. Uh, okay, I gave a lot of information. So, whoa, a little bit. Feels like we're back in school, but let's wrap it up. So it's time. It's time to redefine your healthy lifestyle. And whoever takes my recommendations out of as a dietitian out of context, I never said to stop eating fruits or vegetables, okay? Just because I said we can eat whatever we want or 80/20, I never said to stop eating fruits and vegetables. Let's get those fruits and vegetables in our homes on our kitchen table in our fridge and get them cooked. If you want more ideas for that, let me know, and I'm happy to share a couple of my favorite ideas to do that. Meal planning is definitely one of those habits that can be cultivated, and no, it's not the same every week, but if you have some experience with meal planning, it's kind of fun to get fruits and vegetables in your diet and learning how to cook better. And so we wrap it up, going back to the beginning, slowing down. We can take a walk, sit down, breathe, chew, enjoy that food. Please do it. I I can't express the times that I've just stood up eating my dinner and run out the door. And maybe there's something else that's more important to me. That's fine. Um, I know on my nights when I go country dancing, I do like the very quickest dinner possible. It's really quick and easy, maybe a bowl of cereal, but it's how I fuel myself so I can enjoy dancing. And there's that 80-20 rule. If we can get balance and variety into our day, um, we will hopefully be more flexible and kind to ourselves to allow the fun stuff as well as the stuff that gives us a lot of energy. And changing your environment. Sometimes you really just do need a different visual cue. If you don't have a kitchen that you're in love with, then do your own research and experiment and try something new. See if that will help you um, have a better eating pattern. And remember, it's not only about what you eat, but how you eat. And so that concludes the presentation today. I'm grateful for all of you that have shown up and given some feedback. I've listed a couple of things in the presentation of the references, books, and Instagram people I like to follow. Just want to say thanks once again and want to open up to questions or any more comments. See all the thank yous
Lots,
coming in. Thank you.
yeah, lots of thank yous. Jean, I guess I want to ask you, how has intuitive eating um, changed your relationship with food?
Sure. Um, well, just to be blunt and honest, I mean, I did have an eating disorder back in high school in the first couple of years of college. It was really hard for me, and what do you say? Like I didn't give love to myself. I didn't feel happy. I I was trying to get control over what I was eating instead of having everyone else control me. And um, I went to a little bit of therapy. I also participated in a group called Fed Up with Food. It was a therapy group where we had people that have had eating disorders and people that are currently experiencing them in a deep way, and they're seeing counselors as well. So we would help each other. We'd listen to each other, give each other love and experience, because that's really what helped me break through, was to give more self-love to myself. And I learned that,
Wow.
yeah. It took a couple years definitely to get past it. I think I wrote this paper, and I my picture was in the newsletter at the school I went to down in Provo, but I said it was like perseverance for 7 years. It was an experience that definitely gave me a lot of empathy for people that struggle with it. And I encourage therapy for anyone who is feeling stressed out in this area, that if we can give more love to ourselves and to others and find ways to enjoy moving our bodies and realizing that fuel is how we feel better. It, it's in those that self-respect and nutrition for ourselves that how we can enjoy our days a lot better.
Oh gosh, thank you so much, Janine, for sharing that. I think just hearing you talk about, sharing your own personal experience with food and healing that relationship, like I think it resonates with everyone in one way or another. We can all relate, and how freeing it is to look at food as fuel and move your body, finding things that you enjoy doing. I love hearing that you go country dancing and things
Mhm.
like that like life should be enjoyed, and this is how we enjoy it, with movement and with food and with friends. And it's so crucial to our overall health and wellness. And I think just the things that you talked about today with piggybacking habits and the 80/20 rule, and giving yourself kindness and compassion, these are things that take a lifetime to adopt, but we can do it. We have to make that choice each day. And I think you really nailed that on the head of changing your environment, shaking things up, doing our best to take care of ourselves. So seriously, thank you so, so much. You definitely inspired us today, and so powerful. So thank you. And yeah, if you don't have anything else for us, this was seriously a fabulous presentation. Thank you so much. And thank you guys for joining.
Yeah, you're so welcome. Thank you.
Be sure to sign in for points, and be on the lookout. I'll send out Janine's slides to you guys. And yeah, enjoy the rest of your day and go eat some food.
Yeah, enjoy your lunch and have a happy Thanksgiving and all the holidays.
Yay! Thank you guys. We'll see ya.
Have a good day. Bye.
Bye.